Blood fever coming at ya.
Subscribe to Papa's YouTube channel.
We're out.
All right, folks, what I got here this morning, I got the CCI standard velocity. And the label is off this because when I opened it, it ripped the whole thing off. But this is Chapstick. And what I'm doing is I'm taking the rounds and I'm sticking them down in the chapstick and twirling them. Then I pull them out and take my thumb and finger and I make sure it's around the forcing bands really good. And then I put it in the magazine. But what I did last night is I lubed all these up with this and then put them back in the box, and I just came out here and loaded them. So I've got 25 rounds over there loaded up. I have 25 rounds over here loaded up of unlubed. Now, I worked on reseasoning my barrel yesterday, and I had a huge carbon ring in the chamber. I don't know how I let that happen. I think all these different lubes is making the carbon ring form quicker. So this may be a little unfair because this may shoot really good even with the unlubed ammo, but that's the purpose of seasoning your barrel. It makes everything shoot a lot better. So I just want you to see, I'm down there at 50 yards, and I want to go down there and put the camera up and start the target camera and start recording this, and I'll be right back with you in just a few minutes. Sled Fever, hold on. All right, folks, let's get this thing on the road. Let's get the first 5 rounds loaded up in here. And this is the unlubed, and then we got the chapstick that we're going to try. So let's try the unlubed first and see how it groups. All right, that's our first 5. Let's move over and hit the second group. Let me get just a little crisper. There we go. Well, looks like it's stringing out a little bit, but it's grouping pretty tight. All right, third group. All right, looking pretty good. Unlubed. Like I say, I reseasoned this barrel yesterday because I had not shot it in a while, and this one does not get used a lot. And I was afraid that it was kind of stringing around, and I wasn't happy with it. So I cleaned the carbon ring and I reseasoned the barrel after I did my videos yesterday. And what I got to say is, if you properly season your barrel, you're going to shoot everything better just because of that, because the barrel is conditioned basically like the ammo has lube on it, even when it doesn't. So then when you put the lube on the ammo, it should do even better. All right, none of them look terrible down there. So let's get our Chapstick Lube ammo over here. Drop down on that second row. And see what it's got to offer. All right, there's our first group. Let's hit the second group. And, we've had some pretty cool weather here lately, and it got hot yesterday. It was high 80s. All right. That's a good looking group there. Good looking group. Let's see if we can get these last two groups to stay tight like that. We might be onto something. You know, once we get to sorting this ammo and get the extreme weight variances out, I think that's going to help with these fires. All right, that's a pretty good looking group. Last group. One flyer. All four of them in one hole and then one flyer. What do you think about that? Good old CCI. Well, I think we tightened it up. We'll know after we measure it. So I will be back in a little bit. We will measure them up and we'll see how it's done. Hold on. All right, folks, here's what we got for the Chapstick. The unlubed had a 0.45, a 0.54, 0.37, a 0.50, and a 0.48 with a total of 0.468. And in this second row with the Chapstick on it for lube, 0.33, 0.38, 0.30, 0.34, 0.36. You can see it's much more consistent. And we come up with a 0.342. I had to redo this video because my phone flipped it around on me and I didn't catch that. I need to turn that function off. So you can see from a 0.468 to a 0.342, that's pretty significant. So this is going to be one that we're going to look at some more. And I think this one was very successful. So this lead fever, and this is what we got for the CCI standard velocity using Chapstick for lube. Looks like it's pretty good. We're out.